Today on Nova Legends podcast, I got three sports star Mason Cunningham, recently graduated from Yorktown High School and is getting ready to probably go to training camp at Hampden-Sydney College. Thanks for coming, Mason.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, of course. So, I talked to a guy named Mark Cox a few months ago on this podcast. He played quarterback at Annandale back in the 70s and played quarterback at Virginia Tech. And one thing he said to me was, back in his day, if they lost a game in football, they get him back in basketball. If they lost in basketball, they get him back in football. When you think about it, you probably had different teammates and different opponents in every sport you played, probably except for the goalie for Langley.
Yeah.
So you didn't get a chance to play against the same players, sport in different sports, did you?
Yeah, no, there were a couple guys that played maybe two sports. Yeah, Armor, of course. That's really all I can think of. So I was always playing against new people, and which I like. I mean, I had a couple of rivalries in some sports that would have been fun to carry to other sports. But yeah, no, there's not that many people that play two or three.
Yeah. Do you think you would have been a better, for example, better soccer player if you didn't play football? We think you'd been a better basketball player if you didn't play soccer. Do you think? My guess is being good at all three sports helped you be a competitor and helped you in all three sports. Obviously, you couldn't really work on the skill, and you probably couldn't work on your jump shot or your dribbling as much as you would like to. But yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can make the case that if you get rid of one sport or maybe two, you have more time to focus on the one sport, and you take all 3 seasons to just work on that and get better at that. But I mean, for me, I don't think I could ever give up any of the sports. I mean, I've had so much fun throughout all my years playing all 3 that I just couldn't be able to give up one, even if it meant, really being the best at one of them. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up soccer. So,
yeah.
First, congratulations. You won the Arlington Better Sports Club MVP, Player of the Year, whatever they call it. You won the Yorktown Athlete of the Year, which is huge. First team all region in football, I believe second team all region in soccer, honorable mention all Met, MVP of the basketball team, unbelievable record. If you had to pick a fourth sport that you could have been all district in, would have been the fourth sport? Would have been track and field, or would have been lacrosse?
Ooh, I'd say lacrosse. I would have loved to play lacrosse. I wish I played that when I was younger. So, and also, as good as they are, it would have been fun to be a part of that team.
How about track? I think you would probably have been a good
track.
I guess a mile runner in track.
Yeah, I don't think I could run more than a mile. I'm not a distance guy. Even playing soccer, I run out of breath. So yeah, something like a mile or maybe 800 or something.
Yeah. So how'd you get started in sports? Now I know I grew up down the street from your dad and your Aunt Julie, even though I actually moved out of the neighborhood before they moved in, but I knew of them, especially of Julie, of course.
Yeah.
But how did you get started in sports?
Soccer, of course. I started as soon as I could. My parents got me right into it. I remember going to my older sister's games all the time when she started travel soccer, and I was so jealous. I was like, I really want to be out here. So soccer, of course. I think I started baseball also really early. So I think those were my first 2, and then I got into basketball and flag football. So it was mostly just my parents getting me involved in that stuff.
You didn't play tackle football until late. Is that
8th
correct?
grade, yeah, first year, so very late.
Do you think it's good? Like when I played tackle football as a second grader. Do you think it's good they hold off on it and make it?
I think I would have loved to start it earlier. I mean, most of my friends did start earlier, but as a parent, obviously, I understand why you want to hold your kid until maybe high school, because it's a very contact sport, and I mean, injuries do come along with that. But I think it's good, but it's also bad. It depends on the person, really.
But even if you wanted to start earlier, you didn't miss anything. I mean, the skill that you had to flag football and soccer.
I agree with that. The skill level definitely, there's really not that much skill in youth football. I mean, it's just running around, and if you're fast, you're going to be good. So
yeah, my guess is, and I've talked to many people about this, is that one day there'll be very little tackle football until high school, and it's going to be mostly flag until high school, but really soon.
Yeah.
But so it seems like now you've basically chosen football as your sport. You started playing. I think you said 8th grade. You started playing tackle.
That was my first year.
And you played running back and wide receiver in football.
Yep.
Who were your earliest heroes? Who did you want to run like or catch like?
Ooh, this is tough. I'd say I was a Redskins fan, so Clinton Portis obviously was huge fan favorite. I loved him. Um, oof. And Santana Moss too. I was a big fan of him for. I mean, all the Redskins guys really I looked up to. I watched those games all the time, so I watched after them and I copied their moves, do whatever I could to, you know.
Right. And you were good right away at football. And right away, it came pretty naturally. I mean, we all played, many of us played sandlot football, whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know what they call it these days, but football came pretty easily to you
yeah.
initially.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was common sense to me. It was get the ball and run to the other side. And when I was playing flag, there wasn't really contact involved, so I didn't have to get used to getting hit or anything. So, and also I think soccer helped with that a lot. Getting fit and like I don't know. I think soccer. I feel like soccer helps with every other sport you play, and I'm so glad that was the first sport I got involved with because I think it helped me without every sport.
Well, how about basketball? Did you just start playing Arlington basketball with your school like everyone else, and then eventually did you go
Yeah,
up to the travel team?
I played Arlington Travel. I played obviously rec when I was really young, and then Arlington Travel, and I played for my middle school, Kenmore, and then I didn't play freshman or sophomore year when I was at Gonzaga, and then as soon as I got to Yorktown, I was like, okay, I might as well give this another shot, and started playing again, and I loved it.
So it's possible if you would have stayed at Gonzaga, you may have been a one or two sport
One,
athlete.
just one, yeah. I mean, I didn't make the freshman basketball team there, so I I didn't try on my sophomore year, so it would have just been that, and then
Soccer and football in the same
soccer and
season.
football in the same season, yeah. So I couldn't do that, which hurted me a lot because I really did love soccer. So,
Yeah, yeah. So you know, who were your earliest role models in basketball?
John Wall, oh gosh, I loved him so much. The way he played was great. All my friends say the same thing. They all love him too. LeBron, of course. I mean, loved watching him play as good as he was. Yeah, I'd say it was definitely John Wall was my biggest,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think I'd say John Wall.
Well, how about soccer? So I remember seeing you in all the tryouts. Always a really good player. Who did you try to play like in soccer? Who are your heroes in soccer?
Um, I mean, I really didn't watch soccer a lot, like at all, to be honest. I was really just playing it. I didn't really get into watching until like last year. I wasn't a big fan of that, but I'd go online before games and watch Messi highlights, of course, and look after that. And I loved watching him, and I love Conte, of course. As soon as I started watching soccer, I role model my game after him. I love how he plays. So
Yeah, that's who probably you most remind me of. That there's a player named Scott Parker. He used to play in the Premier League for West Ham. He reminds me a lot of you as well. So soccer's kind of a grind. Like the people
mm,
who play travel soccer,
yeah,
like Chandler, your midfield teammate at Yorktown, after 10 or 11 years, and basically this year is a repeat. When you're U19, you basically played twice. It's almost like varsity soccer. You played the junior, senior class. It's kind of a grind. Do you
yeah.
think you would have been bored just focused on soccer for 10, 11 years and just playing travel?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what happened. I did kind of get bored of it. I loved it, of course, especially in my younger days, but it was a lot, especially as soon as I joined DA, that was the definition of a grind. Your constant practices, constant games, and you really had no time to do anything else. So yeah, I did kind of get bored of it.
Yeah. Who are the most important coaches you had in soccer? Who are the ones that you learned the most from? And
Oh,
um,
Coach was, of course, by far, I think my favorite coach in all sports. He taught me everything, not just soccer, like attitude and everything that comes with every other sport, and obviously my soccer skills too. Um, I mean, I had him for most of my year. Oh, Coach Grant too. I loved Coach Grant. Those were my two main coaches that I liked. Yeah,
Coach Grant Smith. Is that
Grant
right?
Smith. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, whose idea was it to go to Gonzaga? I mean, obviously a great school, great academics and great sport,
Mhm.
but it's kind of far away.
Yeah. No. I went to a bunch of their camps when I was younger, and I was really like, I was like, I want to go play football. I want to try to play college football. And Gonzaga obviously is top tier in football in the nation. And I was like, if I want to go play college football, I should go there. And the Keenans got me into that because their older brother was there, so I was going to camps with them, and I was like, I might as well give this a shot. And I loved it. I did, but as soon as I broke my wrist sophomore year, so I didn't get to play. And I was like, you know what, I want to go play three sports, go with my homeboys to Yorktown, and I'm glad I did that. But Gonzaga was great.
So, sports was in your mind when you transferred
Oh
back,
yeah, definitely.
right? So you transferred back right into the COVID year, right?
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
So you got a chance to play football, and you played football and basketball. You played JV for Yorktown in both. Is that right?
I played varsity for basketball. Or you mean sophomore
Oh,
year or
sophomore year.
sophomore year? I came in the middle of basketball season, so I didn't get to play football.
Okay, got it. So you played. Okay,
So
you broke
yeah,
your wrist.
I came winter break. I I was trying to get on the JV basketball team. They wouldn't let me, so I was like a practice player technically that year. But I enjoyed that. It really, I mean, it helped me out to make varsity the next year. So and then I got to play soccer, obviously. Oh wait, no, I
Well,
didn't. Soccer got canceled.
yeah, we had one scrimmage.
Yeah.
We won.
Yeah,
I,
I was on the JV team, so
yeah, yeah, I know. Well, Chandler was with you.
yeah,
So then the next year was the COVID year,
yeah,
and by some, I mean, I couldn't believe we're not going to school, but to let you guys play sports. I was like, this is
yeah.
awesome. So you got a chance, but it was really bad for a three sport guy because they really layered three sports right in a row. So
Yep.
you had to play basketball, not had to, but you played basketball, you played football,
Yeah.
and then you played soccer.
Yeah.
So what was that like when you came back and you got thrown right back in there?
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, go from just one sport to three back to back to back. It was a lot. I mean, I was also playing basketball first was definitely weird, but I loved it. I got obviously I think COVID, to be honest, with basketball definitely might have helped me because not that many people tried out and I actually like got to show myself to the coaches, which definitely helped me end up making it. And but then going right from that, you have literally zero time off straight to football and then zero time off right to soccer was definitely a lot. But I enjoyed it.
Right. And how did football go your junior year?
I think well, we didn't make the playoffs because it was like a 14 playoffs, but I think we won the district. We went, I think it was 5-2. I think we played 7 games. It was fun. It was in the winter. I didn't play much, and it was, I was just sitting on the sidelines. Really at games, cold. So
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't the best season that year, but I mean, I made up for it senior year, and I had the best year of my life. So
that must have been a bummer. You came back to play football and then you
yeah,
didn't get much
yeah,
play
no,
time.
that was definitely I kind of after that year, I was like, and then going from that to the soccer year we had, soccer really became my favorite sport after that. I had a little phase where I was like, I kind of want to play college soccer until football came around senior year. So
Mm. What's Coach Hansen like? Now, this is a guy that's been coaching, I think, at least 47 years. I think
yeah,
that's right.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's a football coach at Yorktown. I forgot what he teaches. What's his coaching style like, and what have you learned from him?
Yeah, we ran the wing tee at least, which
Really?
obviously old fashioned. So as a receiver, it's not ideal because you're running the ball a good 75% of the game, but it also does open up opportunities for me. The corners and safeties, they're going to be like, okay, this is a run, and then it's just play action and I'm wide open. So that happened a bunch of times, which was nice, but also it is a lot of blocking for me. So
The wing tee was old when I played. I
yeah,
mean, I
no,
remember
he's
there's
ran
a
that
team.
all his years.
It is. Well, the football season was, was unbelievable. Your senior
Yeah.
year, it was the first sport as it should be.
Hmm.
Um, you guys opened up the season on fire,
Yep.
and it looked like there were some real postseason opportunities. What happened towards the end of the year?
We won 6 straight all district games, finished 7-3, and we got the 4 seed in the playoffs. We played South Lakes, and it was a tough game. We had plenty of chances to win it, and we just I don't know. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot and made some mistakes towards the end of the game that really costed us. But they were a team. Their running back had 5 touchdowns, so if yeah, that was definitely an issue, and we just couldn't score when it counted. So
Well, basketball, your senior year. I guess your junior year, you guys got to the regionals because I think you lost to Centerville in the
yeah,
regionals with
yeah,
Central State champ.
yeah, they were
That-
state champs.
yeah, so let's go back. Let's go back to your basketball your junior year.
Yep.
That had to be a surprise. Were you guys picked to
Yeah.
go that far?
Not that far. I mean, it was a little unexpected. I mean, it was first year for me, so I was just getting adjusted to things. I think that class, that 2021 class, they were really good. Liam Anderson, Stephen Lincoln, all those guys were Brandon Warner, they were sick. And but no, I don't think we were expected to go that far, but we had a really good run. I think the COVID year really like it did help us not having fans and stuff because that team like we bonded really well and we had a really good team. And I think that really helped um us go that far. And
Yeah,
we could have won that game too.
yeah. How much did you lose by?
We ended up losing by 10. We were really getting dominated through the first two quarters, and we had a sick run in the third quarter, tied it up, and then they went on a little run to end it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm went to high school with Chris Kazemka's father, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and actually Asher Kazemka, the star midfielder for Robinson,
Okay, I remember
his
him.
his other so Chris's uncle and Asher's dad. I went to school, good friends with all those guys. So, well, what about Jack Reed's coaching style? Now, I mean, I came to watch a lot of your games this year, and sometimes he would start subbing in like 50 seconds to go off the clock. He's already subbing. After a while, it would drive me crazy as a fan. What's it like to play in that system?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. For me, as like I love running. I play soccer. I mean, being able to press, you're always running up down the court is great. And I think it helped me, my junior year to make the team because that system really fit me. But it doesn't fit a lot of people. That's the thing. So you really have to buy into that, and like you got to really like if you guys can get it to work, it's as they did my sophomore year when they won the district championship. If you have a team that's really willing to put the work in and get used to that system, then it can be really good. But this year we didn't really have like the team for that, and it ended up costing us because we'd have guys. The thing with that system is you have guys get hot, then you take them out like a minute later, which can be costly. But I don't know, pressing up and down like that, it does get tiring. So subbing is necessary like that.
Yeah, it seems to fit Chris Short's game pretty well though, because he can shoot from 35 feet.
Yeah, no, it's run and gun. You get the ball, you go down, you chuck it up, and Chris is insane. I mean, he hit the game winner sophomore year, so it does fit him.
Yeah. So let's go back to your soccer year. You got off to a slow start, which is understandable playing two sports. But once you took over in the midfield on midway through your junior year, you really helped change the team, and it was a very different team than your senior year.
Yeah,
We had very experienced wing players with Gibson
John.
and John McMahon, and we had Luke Newell in the back.
Yeah.
It was a very experienced, really good team,
Mhm.
and they put you and Chandler in the middle, and Denny.
Yep.
Nate was an attacking mid. That was a really special year. What are your memories of your junior year?
Oh, I mean, as soon as I got called up, I was ecstatic. I mean, I was waiting for that call, so I didn't think I'd play as soon as I did, but as soon as I got in, I took advantage of it and ended up playing for the rest of the year. And we made some great memories that year. Obviously, state final. Would have me, we still talk about it to this day. Me and Nate and whoever Tristan, wherever I'm with them, we talk about it. But that team was sick. I mean, having those older guys that were that experienced really helped me out. They were always talking on the field, always helping me, telling me what to do,
Mm.
even the first time I got in there. So having that and getting adjusted to varsity was really helpful having those guys with us.
And would you agree that the South Lakes game was one of the greatest games you've ever been part of?
Oh my gosh, yeah, not even close. Best sports game I've ever played in. I don't even have words for it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean Chandler was really depressed that year because just sitting at home in front of his computer all the time, he was really
Yeah.
down. I don't know what he would have done if it wasn't for soccer. And
Oh
then
yeah.
we just kept. It was such a magical year, and like you, he didn't really expect to play, and he ended up playing a lot. And we get by South Lakes. We squeaked by West Springfield.
Yeah.
They really controlled the game, and
Mhm.
you made a steal and you scored a goal that broke the game wide open late. You remember that play?
Yeah, I do. I remember that very clearly. That was a great moment for me.
Yeah, that play really cemented that game, and it was the celebration was unbelievable after that. But yeah, it was great. So anyway, the state game was kind of a bummer because minutes before the game, the guy that had played the most all year, Daniel Sandell,
Yeah.
and definitely one of our best players, he told the coach he couldn't play.
Yeah.
So we had to do some. I think it was a narrow field, and we eventually settled
Mhm.
on a 3-man back.
Yeah.
But I know it's a game that we'll always remember as a game we should have won.
Yeah.
The team, the midfielder was insane, Andres Rodriguez. He's a great player, but we were better. I felt we were better than them.
Yeah.
What's your memories of that game?
Yeah. Obviously I think we should have won that as well. I feel like we got off to a slow start. Not having Daniel definitely like set the mood off, and he's one of the best players I've ever played with. So I think we win that game with him for sure. But we still, I think we just took too long to get adjusted to the game. The nerves kind of hit us, and we just got down early and kind of it all fell apart. And then it took us too long to finally put the ball in the back of the net. So, and that narrow field, I hated it. Those throw-ins into the box were just hard to deal with.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It was a very special moment. Whenever you play in a state final, that's
Oh
something
yeah.
that most athletes never experience. I was amazing. I took a video of you guys going out for the starting lineup. It was such a special moment. And
Mhm.
when you're there, you probably didn't realize how special it is.
Yeah.
And I remember I was telling Chandler after the game, I said, that was really cool. He said, we talking about, we'll be back next year. I'm like, oh, you hope so.
Yeah.
You just never know when you're going to come back.
Yeah. No, it's a huge deal. I didn't realize how big of a deal states was until I actually played in it. I mean, the atmosphere was great for a high school soccer game. I loved it. It was sick. If only we just won it.
Yeah. So how would you describe Coach Carlos's style? He's a very different guy. He doesn't necessarily,
Mhm.
I think he's a brilliant coach. He's a really smart guy. And it's funny because I don't think the kids always know what's on his mind.
Yeah.
But he has his own way of seeing things.
Yeah. That's a great way to explain it. Sometimes like he doesn't exactly like tell you what to do. He just kind of like you just kind of have to like you just know by I don't know. It's hard to explain his coaching style, but I enjoyed it. I loved him as a coach. He was a funny guy. We could joke around with him and have fun in practice and stuff. His style, like the style we played, especially junior year when we just launch it to like John and Gibby. I mean, that did work very well. So I enjoyed him as a coach for sure.
He loves you. I remember one day I asked him about you on the field. This is the first time I've ever talked to him because he doesn't
Mhm.
talk to parents a lot.
Yeah.
He just beamed about you and what the things you did.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about your senior year in football, and basketball was a little bit of a challenge. Again, as you said before, you didn't have the players, and it didn't really, it just wasn't your year. The shots
Mhm.
didn't go. When they did go, you guys were very dangerous. But soccer, we scored so many goals this year.
Mhm.
We played all the top teams in the region. The Final Four in both regions, 18. We beat everybody, um, except for Washington. No, Washington Liberty was out.
Yeah.
So it
They
was a
were.
frustrating year because we scored so many goals,
Uh,
despite having so many injuries. We were amazing all year long, except for maybe a couple games.
yeah. It was a great I mean, what were we like 12 and 0 or like 12-0-1 to start the year off, and we had that WNO game where we lost 4-0, which to be honest, I think really helped us. I think we needed that loss to come. And I think the reason for that WNO loss to Langley that game, I think they were like I feel like they were getting worse every game after the district final because they were just their heads were too high and that loss was coming for them. And I'm glad we lost to them that day because we bounced back, won 4-0 the next game against McLean, and we were on a roll again. And then district final, I think we should have won. I feel like we dominated that game. And then we just had the McLean game where I don't know. It's a rough ending.
Yeah, the McLean game was unfortunate. First of all, I agree with you. I think the Washington Liberty district final was tough for us because we had to play 3 games that week. They had 2,
That's
and we
right.
were very shorthanded. I mean, they're a deeper team anyway than us,
Mhm.
and it was a game we didn't have a lot of subs, and you had to play
Center
center
back.
back instead of
Yeah.
midfield. I definitely think Jake does a great job. He's going to have an amazing career at
Yeah.
Yorktown, but I think when you're playing the center back, it does change our team a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so, do you prefer? Are you okay playing center back, or would you much rather play in the midfield?
I mean, I'm used to playing midfield, so I'd rather play there. But to be honest, when I did get in center back, I did really love it.
Mm.
Um, I think our team's better with me in the midfield, and I think if who it was Justin and Daniel all year, so I think we're better off like that. But when I was playing center back, I did enjoy it. It was fun. I like being last line of defense, and it's kind of a lot of pressure on you. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I do prefer center mid.
Yeah, I think the good thing about having you and Justin in the back is that you have two of the fastest players on the field in the back. So in a way, it gives you a little security back there.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you lose one of your midfield destroyers, and also I think you have the ability to create goals in the midfield, like passes and stuff. And I think, I think maybe against McLean, maybe something could have been created, but I also know how valuable you are in the backs. It's one of those things. And
Yeah.
Jake is going to have an amazing career. He had a
Yeah, for
really
sure.
good year. So, but the McLean game is a game. I mean, they scored 2 goals that when you watch the replay, I think there's goals that we could have stopped. And
Yeah.
we had so many, we dominated that game.
Oh, for sure.
And we had so many opportunities to win. It was just a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah. I think about it every night, I think that team was bound to win a state championship. I think the bond on that team was insane. I was friends with every single one of those guys. And we should have won that game. I feel bad for Nate and Aiden, who didn't even get to play their last game. And I think with those two, that game's not even close. So that was definitely unfortunate as well. But yeah, we dominated. We had so many chances, just couldn't win. Soccer.
Yeah, I know that one's going to haunt me for a long time. Well, anyway, so you make the decision early on. I read on Instagram that you were going to go to William and Mary, where your Aunt Julie coaches soccer and also started in the soccer team and walk on the football team.
Mhm.
And then, a while later, I found out you were going to go to Hampden-Sydney and play. Take me through your thought process on your decision.
Yeah, so I had a couple, the D3 offers like around here that those were exciting, and then I got the William Mary preferred walk-on offer, and that was amazing. I mean, every kid dreams of playing Division I football. So, and out of school like William Mary, where both my parents went, and I have so many family members that went there, was great. But I don't know, just something about being a walk-on and like, my size. It's I don't know, like I want to go to college and I want to play football as soon as I get there. And I think with William Mary, it would have been a grind, and it would have probably took me 2-3 years to get on the field. And out of school like Hampden-Sydney, I think I can get on the field right away, which is really why I'm going to play college football.
Right. Did you take a tour there? Well, obviously you took a tour in Longwood. What'd you think about I have lots of family from Longwood, Pamplin, and also Bedford.
Okay. Yeah. You're talking about like Longwood?
Yeah. What'd you think? Isn't that where Hampden-Sydney is? It's
Yeah, Farmville. That's like our.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's in Farmville.
Longwood's the school next to it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in Farmville, Virginia.
Yeah. I like Farmville. I mean, it's just middle of Virginia. It's not much to do, but I think from what I've heard, Hampton's like they make fun out of it, and with football, I have plenty to do. And we got Longwood, obviously, like you said. So there's a school right next to us that they combine all the time. And I think the atmosphere for football is great there. It's top 3, I think, in attendance. So
really,
yeah, they averaged about 7,000 last year. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, my roommate when I was in law school went to Hampden-Sydney undergrad. His name's Kevin Martingale, very successful attorney.
Yeah.
So I went through the kind of the roster and the record for Hampden-Sydney yesterday. And first of all, it's a high scoring team. They put a lot of points on the board. And also I noticed that the kids aren't very big. The team doesn't seem much bigger than a high school team.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's kind of the same. That's kind of really what D3 is. I mean, the kids aren't, obviously it's nothing like Division I, but it's kind of more advanced high school, I feel like. And it's not as big of guys as you think for college football, but which is good for me as a small guy. But there still are some big guys. I went down there for practice. The linemen they're huge. So it's definitely a big upgrade from high school.
Yeah, it's interesting because Division III basketball is the real deal. I mean, it is so tough to get on the Division III roster now. Yeah. And I feel like football, because the rosters are bigger, there are more opportunities to play college football than I think there are to play soccer. And I mean, soccer you can get on the roster, but it's hard to get on the field. Yeah. And soccer and basketball can be very tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a huge roster for football. We have like upwards towards like 60 kids in this class this year. So, but I mean, kids always quit. That's how it works. So I think there's like 80 kids on the team, and like almost half of that is our class now. So, so I'm sure kids will end up quitting. So,
Woo! So do you are you planning on trying out for the basketball team as well?
No, I don't think so. I don't know how hard that'd be with football, but no, I don't think so. I don't know if I can do that anyway.
Okay. So, well, great. Well, look, man, it's been great watching you play. I really enjoyed watching you play with my own son in the midfield. You guys were so smooth together, very, very different styles, but perfect relationship in the midfield. So I'll miss watching you play soccer. I wish we would have had a couple more games this year, but hopefully I'll tag along with your dad and catch a football game one of these days. And I love to see you play. I watched quite a few games at Yorktown.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, well, look, Mason, it's been great finally doing this. And when do you leave? When do you leave? For
Wednesday, 2 days. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And when's the first day of practice?
The next day, 10 a.m. So
Oh my God. Good. What's happening fast.
yeah,
Well, look, best of luck. Let us know
thank you.
how it goes, and I'll definitely be
Sure.
posting photos of you on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Mason. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Nice
You have
talking
a
to you,
good
buddy.
one.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.